Yes! Welcome back to SLIMEWAVE, the only broadcast show that talks about slimes and slime-adjacent beings and also other slimes and also slime topics. I'm joined by always by my wonderful co-slime. Say hi to the co-slimes back home.
Evening.
My wonderful, wonderful co-slime. We have a very special guest in the studio today. Would you like to introduce yourself to the slimelings back home?
Hello everyone, my name's Ida. I'm a semi-slime-like being, but yes, slimy. Boo.
Ooh. We're so glad to have you parts in the studio today. You actually reached out to us through our slime inbox and we super duper appreciate it.
Yeah, well, this is kind of the first show I'd seen that catered specifically to slimes, and at least where I usually live, I don't see many.
No, there's usually not parts, many slime parts, but that's okay. This show's all about bringing broadcast and webbook information to the masses.
Which is a great thing to do, honestly.
We can jump right parts into the interviews. Let's talk about you. What kind of slime are you? You said you were slime adjacent in our pre-interview.
Yeah, so...
Tell me about that.
So, like many people in the metaverse, I gamer somewhere else. And where I come from, there is a place where if people go, a kind of slime variant of them manifests to act as a sort of challenge, you know? Not in the competitive sense, but like challenging your ideals. You know? And essentially what happened is, after I came into existence, I didn't stop existing, so I just carried on living.
So you're like...
So you're a mirror image of someone?
Whoa.
Essentially, yes.
You're like a mirror slime that doesn't...
Idealistically and mentally, they're opposite in many factors, as you just described.
So is your mirror opposite like a bad person or something? Because you seem really nice.
Oh, they're not exactly my mirror opposite. I'm more like, I guess, the more honest version of them. I always know who I am. I always know what I am. I don't lie to myself. So, well, that's kind of how it goes, at least. And at least, because we've been apart, quote-unquote, for at least 7 years now. And I've diverged quite a lot from then, just because of how we act, you know.
So like you two just kind of gradually became parts separate people and you became your own independent slime.
Exactly.
So what kind of cool slime abilities do you do? What's your diet?
So, for the most part, I don't really need to eat unless I get hurt. You know, so I lost a little digit. I need to eat something to get matter back. I don't really have a core like many slime folk out there. I'm kind of more like an octopus where every part of my body is my brain. If you kind of get what that is.
Is that why you're so smart?
Well, I wouldn't know about that, but luckily I've never lost enough of myself where it actually affects me. There's raised some interesting questions though, like say what would happen if I was cut precisely in half? Which part would be me?
I was gonna say parts like, can you divide yourself cleanly if you make more versions of yourself?
I don't know, and honestly, if I can replicate or reproduce in any way, I don't actually know. There's not much known about my people, honestly.
Mushy mush, slimelings at home. We have a live co-slime audience at the moment, parts, so try not to say anything embarrassing.
I'll try.
SLIMEWAVE is filmed before a live studio audience. You just can't see them because we're broadcasting over what's called the internet. I learned about this recently. The internet's a pretty crazy thing. So what do you do these days?
So I do a lot of things. I mostly do, like a lot of people, adventure work. I sometimes help others out and so on. And I've been doing that for a while. It's not necessarily steady pay, but it's a good way to get a good amount of money in one go.
So it's like mercenary work.
Yeah, I suppose to a lesser degree.
So you're a fighter.
Sometimes, yeah,
Ooh, how do you fight? And did you take on the attributes of the person that you're mimicking, or like?
So, I can kind of, how do I say, the me you see isn't the entirety of me. I can kind of, out of my own goop, manifest kind of large, big-armed bull things to punch and grab things.
Like Boots. Boots can also make themselves bigger. I think they do it by like pushing their finger into their mouth and blowing air into their hands like a balloon.
That's an interesting way of doing that. I've not heard that before.
No.
Well, another kind of thing I should probably mention. Some folks may have seen me around before. I can kind of change my tone to look more humanish, like, and kind of helps that I'm not very good at being a liquid. I'm very good at being this one shape. So like, it's quite difficult for me to be anything else.
So you're like, well, you're still semi-solid though. You don't seem entirely solid parts.
Yeah. Well, yes. It's kind of more like, how do I put it? I slip into molds. This is like the easiest mold for me. I can just be like a ball of slime on the floor. That's also an option. Or
so like you have to have like a mold in order to change your shape. You're like clay.
Exactly, yeah.
So if I got some cookie cutters, could you become like Halloween cookies?
I suppose, but it might take a while. It's a difficulty I've found. Learning a new shape takes months and months and months and months and months, and it's really difficult. So I mostly just stick to how I am now, or, you know, blob.
I see. So what is it that you're going to be doing in the future? Did you have any sort of like plans or hopes or aspirations?
Yes, actually. I've been getting into homunculus making, if you know what that is.
I don't. Explain to me on the slime things back home.
Okay. So homunculus is essentially when you manufacture a being out of whatever materials and sometimes magic. They can be humanoids, they can be like animals, basically copies, for lack of that term.
What do you make them out of?
Well, most of the time it's a combination of, I try to get as close to the original as possible. So, artificial flesh, basically.
Do you just like making babies?
I found I've got a knack for creating.
You're like a full-time mother. That's so noble.
It's like a little bit of a mitosis situation. You're a copy or split off of something, and now you're making more copies and split-offs.
I suppose in a way it's the closest I'm ever going to get to, you know, being able to make anything of my own. So I suppose that plays a part as well, you know.
That's fair.
And if you had to describe or give one piece of advice parts to the slimings back home, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Well, to be on the most topic here, with enough effort, you can be what you want to be. You know, slimes. Change shape, you know, and so we can fit wherever we need to do what we want. There's a level of interchangeability we all have, you know. I have had struggles, like everyone else has, to some degree. And as well as, you know, what I've just said, having folks you can be close with, be it slime folk or others, is always helpful. You know?
I see. Well, exciting news parts. It's SlimeWave time, and SlimeWave time means we answer questions from the SlimeWave mailbox. And of course, we have letters from slimes all across the Middlesverse for us to answer parts. So I'm gonna dig them right up into the mailbox. Let's see here. Ooh, my personal PDA is too small parts to read these. I'll have to pull up the big one. This says, "Dear SlimeWave, I'm a natural hugger. I like showing affection to all my friends, but there's a problem. My body is always at a temperature just above freezing. Every time I want to hug somebody, they get a sudden chill and pull away, saying that I'm too cold. I want to show my loved ones I care, but it's really hard when I'm a walking ice pack. How do I get people to understand that my hugs are full of warmth, even if my body isn't? And that's from Moralison. Honestly, it's a difficult thing, right? Because as somebody myself who can also turns into an ice slime, I understand that it can be very difficult. Like, for example, if you're really cold and you give somebody a pat on the head, they get really chilly. I think it's a matter of parts of sticking to your strength parts. Now, Mr. Rubicon here, you're probably going to suggest a suit, right? I can hear you.
Why would you think that?
I can.
Why would you assume? Why would you? A suit.
You could have guessed.
Well, what if they can't afford a suit? Maybe like,
If you're only trying to give a few people hugs, you could give them coats instead.
ooh, what if you wore a coat? Right? Like, what if you made yourself really fashionable parts by getting some like thick fur coats or like a thick winter outfit? Because that'd be really fashionable alongside a cold get up, right? You might as well stick to your
You
strengths.
just mentioned what if they're poor?
You don't have to get it from a store. You can find it on things in the garbage cans.
I mean, if you want to look fashionable, I guess, but then you'd run into the issue.
Fashion is optional.
Well, I mean, the thing parts is, right, humans see stuff around all the time. Like, for example, sometimes humans just lay down in ditches and don't do anything for like a month. And so, like, if in that case, I don't think it's really a big problem parts if you just want to, like, appropriate their garments because they're not doing anything. You could also get like a parts times jobs. You could use your ability to be just above freezing parts to run like an ice cream stand.
Buy your closest friends nice winter coats, I guess.
You could go thrift shoppings. I was reading on the internet and there was this man's name's Macklemore and he said that thrift shopping's really good. You can find all kinds of stuff there and look really good for a low price.
There are some good deals. They're right.
You could also you said that like negative slime variants like you appear in a certain spot parts, right?
Yes.
So like couldn't they just go to that spot and then a negative version of them would appear that's too hot and then the two of you can stick together and you can run a big hugging business.
Well, biologically, we're all kind of consistent. We don't really have different temperatures per se. I'm always kind of this room temperature for the most part.
I understand parts. I think your best bet would be carrying a space heater with you, like a constant space heater. Just like set it down nearby, right? And have it kind of waving heat onto them as you hug them. And then the temperature will sort of balance parts out. Or, counterpoint, and perhaps this is the most radical suggestion we've ever had on the show. A suit. Nah.
It's an option.
You know what's really funny?
I would have just said the same. You know, clove
Nah.
probably the most efficient option.
You could
and
also,
easiest accessible.
You could also get some magic spell or something. If you had some kind of magic spell, you could probably put a temperature regulation. Back when I was first adjusting to the metaverse, it was really cold during winter time, and someone gave me this funny necklace that makes your temperature regulated so you don't freeze people to death. Magic's pretty great, honestly, and most people who are magic practitioners often do it either for free or just for funsies. So I think it could be really easy to get yourself something to do that, or at the very least, it would just ask them, "Hey, can you cast a magic spells on me?" And then they go pink or something.
I see.
I hope that helps. Move on to the next question, parts. Boop, boop, yeah, boop. Next question. Dear SlimeWave, I've been listening for a while and I have a tricky situation. I'm a carbonated soda slime, and my blubby personality is usually a plus, but it's been causing me trouble at work lately. Every time I get nervous or excited, I start fizzing up and it causes a huge mess. Last week I had a meeting with a client, and I was so stressed that I bubbled up all over my paperwork. Now I'm on spill watch. How can I keep my cool and maintain my fizz without losing my bubbly, excitable nature? I love who I am. I just need to stop exploding with emotion. And this one's signed For Loco. I can hear you. I can hear you prepping to say it.
What?
You're gonna say it. Say it in the good slime.
I said it. Edibles. I said edibles.
Oh, edibles. I bet you were gonna say it soon.
I mean, if they're carbonated, they put them in a suit.
That's
mix
true.
them up. The issue is still there. It's just
That's-
build up pressure.
If you carbonate inside of like a can, oh my god! If you put carbonated drinks inside of like a pressure can, then it'll explode. It's a problem that can't be solved by putting in a suit.
Yeah, it suits
Which is
on
why I
the
said edibles.
Ooh, what kind of edible? Like candy? You might have to be more specific for the slimings back home.
Like one of these. Should I pull like a brownie?
Oh, what? Well, oh yeah.
Well, what if?
You're right. Brownies can't solve a lot of problems.
But what if the food doesn't affect them in the same way? You know,
That's
that
true.
might also not work.
And some slimes are very resistant to toxins.
I think.
I don't think anything about being a carbonated sort of beverage strikes me as naturally resistant.
Okay, here's a counterpoint, right? What if they wore like a big cone on like their neck, and then when they get excited and they bubble up out the top, it goes into the cone and just goes back in?
Would it not just spray outwards?
Maybe parts. I don't know. This question specifically stated parts that they bubble up and fizz. So if they're fizzing parts, then the fizz parts usually comes out like the top, right? So like all you have to do is maybe like wear like a little umbrella hat or something.
If that's not the case, the best thing I can really think of is if you can recognize the signs of when the fizzing gets a bit too much, and you are aware of it, try to distance yourself a bit.
I know that
guess
sometimes
I'll
when I
say
get too excited, I catch on fire parts.
Well, a much more dramatic consequence.
I mean, sometimes if I get really, really excited, I start changing colors uncontrollably. So like, I get it. Something you could also do, right? I don't know what kind of work parts you do, Loco, but you could change into a profession that's more water themed, like car washing or something. And then even if you fizzed uncontrollably, you'd be somewhere where like water could drain. Ooh, I'm having a brain blast. What if they worked in a factory that makes soda drinks, and then when they fizz up, they bottle the drinks, and then they can sell the drinks later?
Doesn't that sound like a health risk in like every sentence?
How so?
Oh yes, and
Usually, okay.
Hello.
I'm going to preface this.
Ooh.
Usually,
You're out of
don't
frame.
like
Scoot over
using
here.
other people's fluids.
Yep, scoot
There
out
are
of
a
it.
lot of women that would disagree on a personal basis, but like,
Yep, there we go. I'll just adjust the camera. There we go.
I can't imagine the
I
idea
mean-
of drinking soda made of people's and their fluids and whatever got into them being something you could market well. And also, good luck trying to explain that to like any health official remotely.
I mean, I sell portions of myself, and nobody's really hit me with a thing yet. See, we sell official branded pudding sign pudding.
I mean, yes, that's
It's only-
because it's your brand that you
Uh-huh.
know that you
Yeah.
explicitly market as such, right?
Oh,
If you
there you
started
go.
working for another large conglomerate or a group and started putting your own body into their, drink, how are they to know that's up to code?
I see. Boots, you've just arrived. Welcome aboard. This is Ida. Ida is our guest for today. They're a sort of like negative reflection slime.
Nice to meet you.
This is Boots. Boots is one of our newest co-slimes as well. Boots, maybe you have a question parts about this or a thoughts. We have a slime back at home that's a soda slime, and when they get excited, they fizz up, and it keeps getting things messy in their office, and they want to know how to control themselves.
Ooh, I have a suggestion that I haven't had before.
Lava.
A suit.
Wow, that's such a revolutionary idea. I can't believe we didn't think of it sooner. My mind's being blown right now. I hope the suggestion parts helps. We can move right on to our last question parts of the day. I've been thinking we can do like maybe 3 questions a day per SLIMEWAVE, because that puts us right about at the half hours mark, which is our usual target.
Good.
Okay, this is the last one. This one says, "Hi SLIMEWAVE, my name is Soam. I'm a pet slime for a human. My human Alex is really nice, but they have expectations I don't know how to meet. They keep trying to teach me how to roll over and play fetch, but my body just doesn't work that way. I'm good at cleaning up spills and being a big squishy pillow, but my human gets disappointed when I can't do the things that a dog does. I want to be a good pet, but I feel like I'm failing them. How do I explain to my human that I'm not a dog and show off my unique features?"
Talk to them as you just articulated a message.
I was gonna say, if you're capable of talking parts, I mean, at the very least, you could do that.
That was a very well written out letter. Like, grammatically correct. Show this capability, and I think your issue will be resolved immediately.
Also, one of the co-slimes, one of the slimelings back at home says, Mr. Rubicon, what do you have to say about the allegations leveled against you?
What?
The allegations.
You have an alligator?
What allegations?
The allegations. It just says here,
The numerous ones
it
that definitely
just says here on my little tablet here, the allegations.
I want allegations. Why can't I have allegations?
What are your allegations?
I don't have alligators.
I'm more of a
Yeah, but I have a
crocodile.
little
so I'd
text
go.
on my phone that says the allegations. Do you see how, like,
Cool.
very little effect that has of damning someone? Everyone has allegations if you're going off of nothing.
Returning back parts to the previous topics and completely ignoring the allegations against me, I think maybe your best part would be trying to maybe show them your intelligence side, right? You're capable of typing in Slimeik, so maybe you could get your hands on like a translator thing, and then if you have that, you could talk to your human, and if you talk to your human parts, you can start establishing a relationship, and then you can start learning different things like taxes and finances.
Important.
Or
Yeah.
counterpoint, and this may perhaps be the most revolutionary idea we've ever had on this channel in the history of ever. A suit.
Yeah.
That's
I love
wild.
it.
That's wild. That's just such a concept. Ooh, what else could they do? What else they could do? Oh, we could print out like slime pamphlets. What if we printed out like pamphlets about slimes and then like scattered them all across the meat rack here? I don't think a little bit of garbage is really gonna like upset the environment or anything.
Yeah, that's a good idea, honestly. Though it might be difficult to kind of do something that fits everyone.
I think a lot of
The
people,
diversity of slime folk.
a lot of people can read parts, and we have a lot of slimelings back at home that love watching these channels and learning all about wonderful slimes, like you here.
All right.
I hope that helps. And if it doesn't help, that's okay. You can always write back to SLIMEWAVE later on down the line and let me know how it went. We are just about at the end of our allotted time here. I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling sponsor segments. Thank you so much to my 2 co-slimes for coming in, Boots and Rubicon. We appreciate you 2 here as always, parts. I think, Miss Rubicon, I think this place is like gonna be like our meeting place now, cause like nobody ever uses it, right?
Unlikely. I mean, it's used very sparingly for large talks, and if it's going to be used for large talk, find somewhere else for the meantime. But those are very far and few in between, like blue moons.
And also, thank you to Miss Ida for coming on.
The moon
Miss
can be
Ida,
blue.
is there anything that you want to say to the Slimelings back home? Anything you want to promote? Do you have like a business or like an Etsy?
Oh no, I won't use up the time for that. But
No, it's
I'll
okay.
say
You're the
it's-
interviewee,
it's-
so you deserve to interviews and promote yourselves. Do you have a Twitch.television?
Well, for any reason, if you require homunculus, add the true self on Metagram. You can find me.
Oh,
On Earth, would you use SLIMEWAVE to advertise a business or a conglomerate of some?
our sponsors.
Who on Earth would? Who on?
Speaking of people that are going to be using that are.
Who on Earth would remotely shop
Only the
Opticus
best people.
Industries?
That's some
Who
kind of
on?
monkey.
No, Bill,
I like
that. No comment.
I think it's about time we say thank you to our sponsors for today. Our sponsors are, of course, Opticus Industry, which is co-signed by Mr. Rubicon right here. I want to say thanks to the Nine Heavens for always sponsoring us, even from beyond the graves. And I also want to thank Surrealist Designs. Surrealist Designs is headed by Miss Aurora. They do like clothing stuff and things like that. And they're also the people who first sponsored us. So in a way, they're kind of responsible for SlimeWave existing.
The more you know.
More you know. So thank you to our co-slimes and thank you to our sponsors. Ida, is there anything that you want to say before we go ahead and let the slimes go?
Beyond what I've said,
Oh.
I hope you all have a lovely day out there and have a great slime day, week, year, time period.
Time period. Oh, here's actually a thought parts. When Halloween comes, I'm told people like transform. You think like if you get transformed into your opposite, you'd become like a big flashlight?
I know what the other me looks like.
Oh, you'd be human. That's truly horrifying. Anyways, parts, I'm gonna go ahead and let.
Ghastly thought.
I know, right? Anyways, for you Slimelings back home, if you want to submit a message to us, you can always do so through our SlimeWave inbox. We always post those on Metagram alongside our episodes. If you are a slime-based individual or perhaps just slime adjacent, like this lovely individual right here, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. We want you on the show. So come on by, because there's always more SlimeWave. Next time on SlimeWave, I think we're going to have a discussion with a sentient orange peel. That's gonna be pretty exciting. Anyways, goodbye, and thank you for coming. Have a wonderful slime.